Today, it's my honor to be the dual status commander,
finally,
and my role is to
people in
ensure
charge,
unity of
National
effort
Guard
between our
are
National
starting
Guard
to show,
forces, which the
and answer
administrator said have been
questions
here
at the
since
press
before the
in
storm,
these southern
and now our
states
active duty
to
military
combat the
forces
lies
that have
that
come
are
in
told
to our
by
assistance
desperate
and
people
to
who
achieve
want
unity
to
of
win
effort.
an election.
Today, the citizens of North
This should
Carolina
have
have
never
a
been
joint task force
politicized, and
that's made up
nobody
of
should have
over
been okay with this
3,300
being
both active duty
politicized.
and National Guard military forces. That
So
includes
listen up,
918
and
vehicles
listen
and
what
over
they have to
41
say.
aircraft. Your North Carolina National Guard continues the efforts that they have had since well before the storm in places here like Asheville and all across western North Carolina. That also includes National Guard from across the 54 states of the Union. Just yesterday, we received 2 more engineer task forces from both Michigan and Virginia to add to that critical need here to our relief efforts. I want to speak to a moment about the active Army integration that has been seamless. Early communication between senior leaders allowed us to make sure that these active duty forces were equipped properly for the mission at hand. Normally, active duty forces are deploying to fight and win our nation's wars, and so we organized for the mission. Task Force Castle, which came right out of Fort Liberty here in North Carolina, arrived in Marion, North Carolina, and with probably 3 or 4 hours of sleep was conducting missions. They are on their 3rd day of missions here in North Carolina doing route clearance and at the same time delivering those commodities that the administrator talked about to places that may not have had access to them before. But what they are finding is progress. They're finding that most places have most of the humanitarian assistance that they need, and in some cases, they just needed assistance with donation management. So you have soldiers, both National Guard and active duty alike, helping organize the massive amount of donations from generous people from all across this nation. And at the same time, providing relief as we continue to push humanitarian assistance relief. The 101st Soldiers from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, arrived with infantry squad vehicles. I will liken these to all-terrain vehicles, and they are immediately assisting our FEMA partners with wide area searches to continue to make sure that we have located all individuals and also where we might need to deliver more supplies. We also are having them team up with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. Commissioner Troxler has provided us with locals who know the people and the terrain to allow us to get into areas that we might not have access so far to this point. Our partnership with the Department of Defense and this status is exactly why the dual status commander was invented after the response to Katrina so many years ago. It allows us to seamlessly integrate all components of the military, both National Guard and active, to achieve that unity of effort in our response to relieve the suffering of our fellow citizens here in Western North Carolina. And I'll be followed by the Commander of the United States Northern Command. Sir?
I'm General Greg Eo. I'd like to thank Governor Cooper, Administrator Criswell, and Brigadier General Morrison. I'd like to acknowledge the tremendous amount of tireless work and effort by thousands of people and hundreds of organizations that are bringing aid to the citizens of North Carolina. As the commander of U.S. NORTHCOM, we're honored to support the state, FEMA, and the dual status commander, Brigadier General Morrison, by providing active duty forces in a number of areas that can fall under his command and control, using the dual status commander role that comes from the President through the Secretary of Defense at the request of Governor Cooper, which allows him uniquely to command and control both state and federal forces at the same time. That will bring the citizens of North Carolina unity of effort and response, where we can provide the types of capabilities that are needed that will fall side by side with the North Carolina National Guard troops under his able and forward-thinking leadership. As General Morrison mentioned, the first wave of response has been helicopters from Fort Liberty, engineering battalion from Fort Liberty, and then also the infantry battalions that are coming in from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. But I should point out that those and the 101st Airborne, but they are part of the 18th Airborne Corps, the elite unit based out of Fort Liberty that is providing the majority of the 1,500-person Title X response. Additionally, we have some Navy helicopters that are working directly for Administrator Criswell and FEMA, and then we have some very capable search and rescue aircraft that are across the border in Tennessee at McGee-Tyson Air National Guard Base that are flying 10-hour sorties a day throughout western North Carolina, providing search and rescue, medevac, and landing to provide basic medical care and wellness checks throughout the region. I'd like to close by saying it is a tremendous honor for us to support not only Brigadier General Morrison as the commander of these forces, but the state and FEMA in this most important and honorable mission for us, which is to help fellow citizens. Again, thank you very much.